Good morning, everybody. My name's Dan McCalla, and welcome to Croft. It's round 9 and 10 of 14 of the 2023-24 Simply Race Porsche Challenge. We've got rounds 13, 14, 15 of the Touring Car Championship coming up this afternoon, and our qualifying session of the first of two Porsche races is already underway. You join Aidan Carter, our championship leader, who is just starting his first flying lap now. He has a 2-point championship lead, having won 5 of the 8 races so far, and he's the red-hot favourite this weekend, with his nearest championship rival, Adam Christopher, not racing today. He's decided to take Croft as his drop round. He's never liked Croft. He's never made any secret of that. Hello, Adam, by the way, if you're watching. We're good to see you for the next round at Knock Hill. And so Aidan, bearing in mind Aidan and Adam have won all 8 races between them so far. He is certainly the red-hot favourite to take both pole position here and win race 1. He was fastest by nearly a full second in free practice. Grant Lyman is alongside me, and yeah, I think race 2 might be a little straw with reverse grid, Grant, but certainly for race 1 it's hard to look beyond car number 43.
Oh, definitely. Race 1, I'm expecting an Aidan just domination, to be fair, and we can already see on this first attempt, although it's saying that goes straight off the road. Have we cursed Aidan Carter already?
Good start to the day.
Yeah.
Very good start to the day.
Our predictions are spot on.
I will point out, you can see, we've only got 8 cars here this weekend, but it is a good quality field. They're all experienced drivers. They're all in the top 10 in the championship. They're all drivers who've been here before. So we've got, as I said, Carter, Connor Daly, Costas Avram, Ben Bennyworth, Jack Bonney. Maybe a good chance for him to get his first win on the board, maybe in race 2 with the full reverse grid. Pierre Delby, he did very well in free practice earlier on, actually, with Aaron Daly. John Dean Smith is here as well. So Connor Daly set the early fastest time of 1:20.093. For reference, Aidan Carter's fastest time from the free practice session that we've just had was 1:18.444, and Costas Avram, the man you see now just coming into Tower Bend at the end of the back straight, was the only person to get within a full second of him. So we'll stick, we'll have a Costa, we'll have a look at Aidan as he's on a quick lap. Remember, qualifying's private, so they're all out there effectively on their own, and a big slide coming into Sunny Indy. He's pushing on,
and Costas has gone off and ruined his lap through the high-speed section of the circuit as well. So looking like Aidan's on for an absolute stonker of a lap here. Another really good middle sector, being able to carry those tyres 2 laps. It's not as fast as Connor's middle sector though, must be said.
No, I mean, he's 9/10 up in the middle sector though, so I think this is going to be well into the low 19s. It might even get into the 18s. 1:18.4 was his lap from earlier. 1:18.408, so he's already gone quicker than what he managed in free practice, and at this early stage it puts him nearly 1.7 seconds clear of the field. Yeah,
I think we've got a lot more to see from Aidan there as well with that middle sector. I think we'll see a much faster lap from Aidan a bit later in the session.
Yeah, well, let's follow Aidan round for the rest of this lap then, because we come down the back straight of Croft. He's been through Clervo and Hawthorne and the chicane, so coming through just as you come over that crest of the hill there, you break into Tower Bend, which is a much longer right-hand apex than you imagine. Then coming up towards the very fast left and right of Barcroft, which should be taken over, even in the Porsches, pretty much flat. And then you come through as Jack Bonney moves into second. The 1:18.5 is a great lap by Jack Bonney, much better in practice. And this is the really tricky corner, turning very bumpy and braking into Sunny Inn. Very, very difficult. I think one of the most difficult corners of the whole season, based on my experience in the Alpines last year. Through Sunny out, or 2 almost 4 wheels on the grass from Aidan once again, and he comes through the left-hander, and then he'll come into the 2 hairpins to complete the lap. They go right, and then the even slower left, probably the slowest corner of the whole season, just 35 miles an hour. Round again, almost just looks like you're turning back into a bus stop, and then back through to complete the lap. I don't think the tidiest lap is from Aidan. Let's see if he posts any sort of improvement. He has actually, a 1:18.226. He goes even quicker. I do wonder if good start to the day this, whether we might see a 1:17 before the session is out, Grant.
Definitely, I think we're knocking on the door of that already. I just want to say a big improvements for John Dean Smith from practice into qualifying, currently running in P3 at the moment. In practice, he was definitely struggling to get into under 1:20, so good to see him in the 19s now. Yeah, let's see a further improvement here. He's done a 1:19.6 already, and he does a 1:19.3 now. So, yeah, John was a really, really strong. He was 7th out there in practice. Jack Bonney, 1:18.247. I mean, Jack Bonney was well in the 19s in practice, so I think drivers getting a lot of benefit out of that half-hour practice session and now really dialing it in
for qualifying, because we're seeing some much bigger improvements between practice and qualifying here than I think we've seen at any other races this season, as Jack Bonney pumped in a purple first sector of 26.7 through Croft on the left and the right, and Jack Bonney, I think, sensing, particularly with no Adam Christopher here, this might be opportunity for him finally to get his first win on the board.
Definitely, and Aiden is on a hot lap as well, so that target, that ever-moving goalpost, could become a bit harder for Jack to beat, as Aiden does a 1:18.2, and Jack still on for a good lap though, still lighting up the sector time.
Yeah, Aiden 17 thousandths short of improving there as Jack comes through the penultimate corner. It's a very tight hairpin, and watch him now because he takes a really wide line, almost like he's going to go off, and then cuts in to take that little pointy apex. It's an interesting line that he takes. I doubt he'll take it in the race. He'll be liable to be overtaken and doesn't quite improve. 1:18.268 is just a couple of hundred short. Meanwhile, Pierre Delby, who did a really good job in practice, he's up to third at 1:19.0. Here he is in that distinctive, almost like an Adidas type car. Obviously it's 2 stripes rather than 3, but it's always the thing it reminds me of. He's going to go off there. But this is a great showing for Pierre so far. He's been very consistent through the season. His best result 4th in race 2 at Thruxton, and he is 5th in the championship at the moment. But this is probably the first time so far that we've seen real outright pace from him.
Yeah, definitely, and it's really cool to see. Pierre put so much effort into the practicing for these rounds as well, so it's really nice to see that paying off for Pierre. And we have seen him getting stronger and stronger each round. Just needs to keep that consistency up, coming into the pit lane now to get a fresh set of boots on. I just wanted to say, with his car, it kind of reminds me of the old Augusta Racing. Remember when it was sponsored by Newcastle United? That sort of
the old Lister Storm
yeah,
from FIGT in the late 90s.
I know it's a very simple livery in comparison, but I don't know why there's something that rings true with that for me.
If you are watching this and you are under 30, ask your parents, because there's probably no other way I can describe what a fantastic old GT1 sports car that Lister Storm was when it was sponsored by Newcastle. Back when Newcastle were good, but before they had the Saudi money. So 6.5 minutes to go. Aiden is on top, but by nowhere near as much as we expected. Jack Bonney just 21 thousandths behind. They're both on 1:18.2. Pierre Delby 1:19.0. John Dean's 5th 1:19.3. Ben Bennyworth's been a bit blowing hot and cold so far today. He's on a 1:19.3. And then Connor Daly, Aaron Daly, both in 1:20s. Costas Avram here is on a 1:20.8, but I don't think he's got a clear lap in. I think he's going to get one in now, which is going to put him maybe low 19s. He might just about squeeze ahead in between Pierre and John, maybe. Comes through the last corner now. Gets on the power nicely, feeds it through well. It's so tempting to get on the power too early, come out that hairpin. Low 19, I'm guessing. Oh, 19.6. Very good last sector, but it's only good enough for 6th place for now. So another 3 attempts needed to get himself onto the second row of the grid. And we're seeing more and more drivers. But Aiden's just come back in. But more and more drivers now heading back out now for what may well be their last runs, with enough time to get maybe 3 or 4 more laps in.
Aiden was actually on a really good lap, and I was about to cut to it, but then made a mistake in the middle sector, which then ruined the chances of improving that lap time, so just abandoning it and going to the pit lane was the sensible call there. See, Jack Bonney's already changed tyres and is back out onto the circuit. We definitely thought this was going to be a one-horse race, so really cool to see Jack putting that real pressure on Aiden, it must be said, and it is real pressure.
Yes, it is. I mean, Jack Bonney, we said, really is knocking on the door when he's in a very sort of good third in the championship at the moment. He's had 2 seconds, he's had 2 thirds. He lost the podium, remember, in his very first race at Donington when he spun about a lap and a half from home. But I know he works very, very hard with testing and everything, and he's found more and more consistency weekend by weekend. So, yeah, this could be a big day for him. And, yeah, keeping Aiden honest. I mean, I think Grant and I, we were probably both sat there expecting after practice that Aiden would be on pole by the best part of a second. And that certainly does not look like it's going to be the case. Bonney within a second. Pierre Delby is as well. So, let's stick with Jack, unless you see anything on the split times, Grant. Let's stick with Jack for this full lap then, and let's see what he can do. So 4:24 to go, so he's got time for another, as many as 4 laps if he wants it, and the tyres are there. So through the right-hander of Clervaux, then this chicane, barely chicane, into Hawthorne. Long, almost never-ending right-hander, loads of stress through the front left tyre, then skip through the chicane. Don't catch those tyres on the second apex because they're solid as hell. Down the back straight, and then you look for that little rise, that little crest that just does enough there to destabilise the car as you try and break into Tower. The first sector is okay, he's about 800ths down. just puts a couple of wheels on, just lose a little bit of time there as he comes out of tower up towards Barcroft. Oh, big hit, big off. As I was saying about the tyres being solid, and he's cut just a little bit too much there going through the left-hander of Barcroft, and I imagine he will probably pit now, try and get new tyres on and come back out, and he may only get one more flying lap in. Yeah, just when it's not like real life, you think with the tyres moving and everything, those things are frozen solid, and yeah, if you hit them, you will absolutely know about it.
Well, Chris Wilson's earlier prediction on the week on our Facebook page that several cars would hit the tyres is potentially going to ring true. Aiden having a very scruffy pot lap, and his out lap, he made a big mistake coming through the middle sector, so he might have already done those tyres. If you look at sector 1 for Aiden, it's a 27.6.
Yeah, 3/4 of a second down, so he's not doing anything on this lap, and he's in a bit of a situation now because he's not really got enough time to pit and change them now with less than 3 minutes to go. Here's John Dean Smith coming up to the line. Improvement, yeah, just a few hundredths off, but he gets knocked down to 5th because Ben Bennyworth's come in with a 1:19.169. So Bennyworth up to 4th, and John Dean Smith, despite that slight improvement in time, is knocked down to 5th. It's probably not been the year that John wanted in the Porsche. He's had a third in the... he had a second place at Alton in race 2 last time out, but that's been his only podium of the year. He is 6th in the championship, but he has already dropped him around because he decided not to do Thruxton. But he's not having a good year in the Porsche as he is in the touring cars.
And just to double down on that fact, he spun on his lap just after, so potentially that was his last attempt, as I don't think he'll have time to get fresh tyres and do another lap.
Probably going to be
Aiden is still doing okay. Middle sector on that last lap was pretty good, not going to lie. So the third sector was good as well. So I think there's still life in those tyres yet.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see if Jack Bonney can do anything with his tyres, but it's looking like he is struggling.
26.6. That's quick. That is quick. Just a very quick word to go around the Battle of the Dailies at the back. Connor is currently a quarter of a second clear of Aaron in 7th and 8th. And we know from recent races when those two are at the front of the field for a reverse grid, they can be a force to be reckoned with. So don't count them out of the action front of the field. Big lock up into Sonny in from Aiden Carter. Really pushing now, coming through the second apex. Back onto the straight towards the corners, left, right, left at the end of the lap. Just lost a little bit in the second sector, but still in the hunt for another improvement. Not seeing anything on the splits from Jack Bonney at the moment. We'll keep an eye out. Can't really trying to get on the power, but maybe taking a bit too much curve, destabilising the car, and into the final corner now. Out he comes up to the line. Will he just shave another 10th off maybe? No, he's not. 18.8. Yeah, he lost too much in the last sector there coming through the...
Yeah, and Jack Bonney made a mistake in sector 1 as well, so unlikely to see an improvement from him either. Maybe really struggling with those tyres after that incident. But Ben Bennyworth has sneaked into P3 as we've been talking.
Yeah, 1:19.067, so 300 clear. I was just looking to where
P4.
Jack Bonney is on the track just to see if he's going to get across the line in time to get another lapping, because he's only got 30 seconds to go. Yeah, he's jumping into the hairpin, so he's going to get to the line in time to get one more lap. Purple first sector, I should say, for Aiden Carter. Sorry, red first sector. I'm watching MotoGP too much again. So Aiden in the hunt as he comes through Barcroft once again and up towards Sonny. This will be his last flying lap of the session.
And a very good first sector for Costas Avram, a 26.9 in sector 1. Not the best middle sector though, over 28.4. But looking like that might potentially be an improvement as Aiden puts in a stonking middle sector.
Yeah, this might be the 17 that we were expecting Aiden might be able to achieve at the start of the session. The checkered flag is out, pushing again, but not as unstable as it was on the previous lap. Into that final corner, just over 30 miles an hour through there, probably the slowest corner of the whole season. Then on the power, will this be Aiden Carter into the 1:17s? Yes, it is a 17.8, and that should be Aiden Carter on pole position. I can't see, with the best will in the world, Jack Bonney managing to beat that. 1:17.849. Here is Jack Bonney. The first sector is not bad. Always gone well off the track at Barcroft. Will that break track limits, Grant?
I think it potentially will, although it's looking like it's still counting a lap as of now, so he might have got away with it.
He's missed the apex of Sonny, and I can't see him on this lap.
I don't think it's going to be a good lap.
No, I don't think so.
But Bennyworth puts in another personal best to solidify third place.
Bennyworth into the 18s. He had 1:18.809, so he's really managed to find some form, because he was really struggling in the first half of free practice. So consolidates P3 ahead of Pierre Delby. Costa Sanfran's going to have to settle for 6th. I think he'll be a bit disappointed with that because he was 2nd in practice earlier on. And Jack's going to come straight into pits and abandon that. So it is, as we expected, Aiden Carter in pole position, but only by 4/10, not by as much as perhaps we might have expected. I know Aiden's still going round here, but the checkered flag's already come out. So it's going to be Aiden Carter and Jack Bonney on the front row, Ben Bennyworth and Pierre Delby on row 2, John Dean Smith and Costas Avram on row 3, and then the 2 Daly brothers, Connor ahead of Aaron, rounding out a small but high-quality grid for race 1 coming up very shortly. It's a 17-lap race, which is a lot of laps around a very technical track like Croft. Aiden would be the favourite to the win, but, I mean, apart from maybe slightly on charity, maybe Connor and Aaron, I think probably anybody else could be a contender for a podium here.
Yeah, definitely. And I do think Aiden's going to have to keep an eye in the ring mirrors to keep an eye on Jack Bonney, because Jack has been fast. Jack has been very fast in that qualifying session, and we saw quite a few mistakes from both drivers. It wasn't just Jack making the mistakes. We saw quite a few little errors from Aiden as well, and it only takes one slight misjudgment with these cars and you've lost the rear end.
Absolutely. The sportsman in me is thinking, I hope Jack takes the lead off the start, because that could make for a very interesting race indeed. Stay with us here at Croft. We're going to take a very short break. Race 1, round 9 of the championship for the Porsches, is just round the corner with Aiden Carter and Jack Bonney on a tantalising front row. Right then, it's race time. Round 9 of the Simply Raised Porsche Challenge. The warm-up lap about to begin here at Croft. A small but very high quality field of 8 cars about to begin a 17 lap race. As my glamorous assistant Grant is going to hopefully get the grid lineup up for you in more detail. The driver's just getting ready in the pods now to set off on the warm-up lap, and away they go. Aidan Carter on pole position as expected, chasing a 6th win of the season, but Jack Bonney kept him honest in qualifying, and if Bonney can get ahead at the start, it can make for a very interesting race indeed. Ben Bennyworth improved through qualifying, he starts 3rd, and a best ever qualifying for Pierre Delby in 4th. John Dean Smith gradually getting to grips with the Porsche again is in 5th. Costas Avram never got a clear lap in 6th place that he would have liked, and then the Daly brothers at the back of the field, Connor 3/10 quicker than Aaron in qualifying. They all hope to capitalise on any mistakes ahead. These cars are not easy to drive. This is not an easy track. Tyre wear is a factor, and it's 17 laps, Grant. There is every possibility that anyone could make an error at any time. So this race, as much as Aidan is the man to beat on pace, is not by any means a foregone conclusion.
Definitely not. We could see an outside underdog win this race. Even the Dailies at the back will be thinking, it's a race of attrition, this one. So easy to make a mistake around Croft. It's such a great driver's circuit, but in these Porsche cars, it just really doubles down on how technical this track really is. Like, when Jack Bonney jumped in the BMW touring car just to give it a quick test to see how he got on with it, he couldn't believe how good the brakes were and how nice it was in comparison. Bearing in mind the BMW is one of the hardest touring cars to drive on the whole grid, but he just found it so beautiful to drive just in comparison to the Porsche, just because of how challenging it is. Croft
is an absolute cracker of a track for touring cars, as you will see when they have their 3 races coming up this afternoon, with Lewis Manley hoping to take another big step towards taking another championship title. We've got that to look forward to later on, but it's Porsche's first, and Aidan Carter hoping to capitalise on the fact that the only man challenging him for this championship, Adam Christopher, the defending champion of the Alpines, is not here today. This is his dropped round. I have already had a text from Adam saying he's promised a crate of beer to any driver who can outscore Aidan over the 2 races, which might be a problem if it's Jack Bonney, because Jack technically isn't old enough to drink, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So Aidan lining up in the predominantly black car, number 43 on the left-hand side, Jack Bonney in the purple with the red trim on the right-hand side, so Aidan will have the inside for the first corner. The Daly brothers lining up at the back, and we get ready to go. 17 laps, round 9 of the Simply Raised Porsche Challenge. 17 laps of Croft gets underway now. Looks like a good start from Aidan. This camera angle already hasn't helped me a great deal. Bonney in 2nd. That is Ben Bennyworth in 3rd. Have a look at the inside. I think John Dean Smith managed to get around the outside of Pierre Delby into 4th. Yes, he has. That's Delby in 5th. And it looks like Connor Daly may have got ahead of Costas Avram. And that's actually Costas being taken by Aaron Daly as well. So not a good start for Costas at all. Both Daly brothers managing to get past him. So it's Carter, Bonney, Bennyworth, Dean Smith, Delby, Connor Daly, Aaron Daly and Costas Avram. They come down to town for the first time, and Jack already having a big look at Aidan as they head onto the back of the circuit.
It actually looked like Jack bogged down at the start as well, so already right back on the tail of Aidan Carter there. I thought he was maybe going to get overtaken by Ben Bennyworth going into turn 1 at one point, but really back on the pace now to keep Aidan under pressure, and that's what he's got to do. He's just got to keep on putting that pressure on, wait for the mistakes, but it looks like we've got a beautiful battle hottening up in for P3 between John Dean Smith and Ben Bennyworth.
Yep, good spot that, John. I think just lost a little bit of ground through sunny in and sunny out, but Ben certainly headed the midfield at the moment. Then Dean Smith, then Delby, and then Connor Daly is in 6th place there. They come down to that super tight hairpin. The end of the first of 17 is going to feel like very long laps. Carter and Bonney pretty much nose to tail already with more than 2 seconds back to the midfield. Then it's Bennyworth, Dean Smith, Delby, Connor Daly, Aaron Daly, Costas Avram at the rear, and it's a penalty for one of the Daly brothers. I can't tell which one it is from that caption. I don't, why would that be a jump start penalty?
It would be a jump start, as that's an automatic penalty. Now look at this with the top 2. Jack just absolutely mirroring everything that Aidan Carter is doing in the first sector and really sticking with the insanely fast championship leader. This is not what we're used to seeing at the start of races. Normally we see Aiden just pulling away. And look at this as well. John Dean Smith is really starting to shape up a move on Ben Bennyworth. Really finding his feet now is John.
Yeah, I think the two of them just pulling away from Pierre Delby as well in fifth. They come down into Sunny in for the second time, and although it looked like Aaron Daly might have just been running on a little bit in the background, I don't think he's gone off entirely. I imagine at the end of this lap we might find out which one of the Daly brothers has got that jump start penalty, and then that information might manifest itself. But I do wonder, Grant, with the way Aiden's driving, whether he's just trying to just tempt Jack into pushing a little bit more, and almost lull him to false insecurity, and almost try and draw the mistake out of him, which would be less likely if Aiden went 3-4 seconds up the road. Or am I being probably a bit uncharitable to Jack there?
No, I don't think you're being unprofitable to Jack at all, although the pace is good. 118 as race pace is a very, very fast race pace. And judging
Bennyworth in the gravel.
Judging by the fact that they are 3.3 seconds ahead of P3 already, the pace is hot.
Yeah,
I mean, Jack makes a slight error there, but we're still sticking with him.
Yeah, it's a good spot, Grant. 118.8 for Aiden last time round. 118.9 for Jack Bonney. John Dean Smith was the only driver in the 119s, and I think we've lost Connor Daly somewhere, unless he's gone and served the penalty. Something might have happened to him. That is Costas Avram and Aaron Daly fighting it out. They come into Tower Bend again. This is for sixth place. Honest two Daly brothers, sorry, yes. The similarly dark coloured car with Costas, and their last number of the car is 6. I got confused. So Connor recovering, both of them well back.
I think Aaron had the penalty.
Aaron had the penalty, and I think Connor might have had an off as well. So double Daly trouble at the end of lap 2, unfortunately. Meanwhile, at the front, Aiden Carter, who's going to complete lap 3, has started to stretch his legs a little bit. This lap times are going to be interesting. High 18s by both of them last time round. 18.4 for Aiden, and Jack, well, he went for track limits, so the time wasn't given. But
it was a fast first sector for Jack, but I think he just pushed a little bit too hard in the middle sector, made a slight error, because that's when the gap really increased.
Yeah.
There was a little snap of the car.
John Dean Smith made a mistake as well, because he's not only just fallen well behind Ben Bennyworth, he's fallen back behind Pierre Delby as well, so he's had a minor off somewhere. Aaron Daly has now come into the pits to serve the penalty, so I think both of them must have had an off earlier on. So it's incredible how difficult it is to try and piece together everything that's happening in a race when there's only 8 cars out there, but there's still a lot going on. So while Grant tries to track down what happened to John Dean Smith, I'll just run through. Aiden Carter with a lead of 1.7 seconds over Jack Bonney. Ben Bennyworth has a comfortable gap in third of 2 seconds over Pierre Delby. He'd be delighted if he can pick up a 4. John Dean Smith is 1.4 seconds ahead of Costas Avram, and then Connor Daly well ahead of Aaron Daly now that Aaron is serving his I say he's serving his drive-through penalty. The pit thing's still running. Has he come back out? Oh no, he's come back out now. 35 seconds. That's a long. He made an actual stop. That's very long for a drive-through. We'll find out a little bit later on what happened there. While Grant still beams away with the replay to find out what happened to John Dean Smith. Aiden Carter going even quicker now, 118.3, and Jack Bonney was in the 120s that time round, so I think made a little bit of a mistake. So Aiden Carter really stretching his legs out now.
So here's what happened to John. Doesn't get the car straightened up, gets on the grass, loses the rear end.
You know what? I'm not going to criticise John for that. No. That is so easy to do. Sunny in, and I said it in qualifying, it is the nastiest corner in the whole season in my opinion. It's bumpy, it's very quick on turning. You've got that left-hander, the right-hander, of Croft. Getting the car stopped and turned in there is an absolute nightmare in any car. That includes the touring cars as well. So that will not be the last incident I think we will see at Sunny in today. And it has dropped John back into 5th place, although he is still stretching out his advantage over Costas Avram in 6th. Here is John coming to Sunny in. You can see how much the car just sort of wallows through with how stiff the suspension is, just struggling to get the grip. And it is just testament, and it's a bit like Alton Park, and maybe the angles and the sort of the camera angles we have here doesn't do it justice of just how bumpy it is.
Yeah, it is so bumpy in these cars around here. Like, the smallest little bump really unsettles the car too. And like you said, Sunny in is definitely like the hardest corner of the season. Like, any of the cars to try and set up into that corner, it's difficult. You've got to have it absolutely precise, or you're going off, and it's going to be a big one because it's always high speed.
Speaking of offers, Aaron Daly's gone off there at Hawthorne. We just went past him. He was just sat there in the at the bottom of the screen. And see John Dean Smith's just gone past. You can see that his car is stricken there. I don't know if Aaron's had a problem or whether he's retiring. I'm just looking. Don't know if there's any action in the if he's got out of the pod or anything. But yeah, Aaron not having a particularly good day here.
No,
So
race control saying they're a bit conflicted on Aaron's penalty, but the jump start penalties are, you know, we had the debate at the last round, or was it 2 rounds ago
we had the one with Stuart Pringle at Thruxton and the touring
where we
cars.
didn't initially see it, but then when we did see it, it was quite clear cut. The thing is, if you jump the start, you jump the start.
It's one of the few penalties that's not subjective.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all done. It's automated within the system. If you jump the start, it's there. You either have or you haven't. So
yeah, you can't accidentally kind of jump the start.
Of course, the one solace here for Aaron, who is sitting in sector 2, so I think he has resumed, is that he's pretty much nailed on now for pole position for race 2. And actually, who won from reverse grid pole at Croft in the Alpines last year? Aaron Daly. So don't rule anything out just yet. As we've seen from a number of drives already, very easy to make errors around this track. Back to the third sort. Go back to refocus on the front of the field. Aiden Carter just relaxed into a 19-0 and has a very nice lead of 3.8 seconds, or 4.2 now, that he can sit on. Jack Bonney very much of course what will be his third second place and 5th podium of the season for 9 races. There aren't, unfortunately, many close battles at the moment. Pierre Delby is only 1.9 behind Ben Bennyworth, but he is being caught by John Dean Smith, actually. John Dean Smith recovering was 6/10 quicker than Pierre last time round. That gets down to 2.5, so I think, barring errors, the most likely battle on track I think we're going to get, we're on lap 7 out of 17, is going to be between this man on your screen and the blue and yellow Napa car of John Dean Smith chasing down Pierre Delby for 4th place. But as it was still less than half distance, still 10 more laps to go at the end of this one.
So Aiden Carter really showing some prominent driving maturity at the front here. Knew that the challenge from Jack Bonney was going to be strong early in the race. So pushed, really pushed. And I think Jack just couldn't hold on with the tyres, because looking at the pace, Jack is consistently around 1.5 off the pace now a lap compared to Aiden, which at the start of the race was not the case. There was even some 1-minute 20s for Jack a little bit earlier on in the race. Definitely looking like a very handy second place though. Does have a 4.2 second gap back to Ben Bennyworth, so you know, still can't count anything out. You know, Aiden could relax a little bit too much, and that's when the mistakes definitely come in. But I just wanted to point out the maturity of the drive from Aiden Carter today.
I will say Aiden has just pumped in a 1:18.3, slightly in Jack's defence, so that was probably an extreme that there was a gap of 1.5 seconds on that lap. But yeah, I think Jack realising that he would be risking too much to try and chase Aiden down on pace, particularly with this track being so difficult consistency, as John Dean Smith's gone off on the grass. It's sunny again.
Shame. That is a shame. It's a big off as well.
He's going to be so frustrated with that. I hope he puts it out of his head for
Bennyworth.
Ron. He might actually. Where's Costas? There's Costas behind him now. Right behind him. So now we've got a battle for 5th and 6th between the two of them.
So Bennyworth has actually been lapping almost faster than Jack Bonney on some laps. Last lap, not as much. There was a bit of a gap between them. In fact, literally 1,000th of a second.
What I was going to say, Grant, is he is within, I suppose, the margin of error, as in if Jack makes a mistake, he is very much within a major mistake. He's very much in a position to capitalise. Aiden Carter, meanwhile, did a 1:18.9 last time, and then everyone else is now in the 1:20. So Aiden, as we reach half distance race, now leads by 7 seconds. So we're now coming back towards more what we expected from race 1 here. Yeah. Costas just had a naff start.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if it's easy for Costas to know how far
Well, I have to agree because I can't remember what it is. So you're going to have to do it. You tell that, and if something happens here, I'll interrupt and carry on. So you have the talking stick. Ooh.
Bit of downforce, bit of grip, a lot easier to drive than these cars.
Oh yes.
Offer a lot more sort of entry level turns and into as well. Also challenging drivers like me. Hustling around.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of driving the SR3. You really can push those. You really can lean into them. They've definitely got more downforce than you think, and you really can kind of chuck them around the circuit and get some fun out of it. Even if you're not on the ultimate pace, they are really, really good fun cars to drive. So I think that's a really, really good change. I mean, obviously I don't want to speak too negatively, but we did have a full grid of these Porsches at the start of the season at Donington. We had 15 cars. I think a lot of people have just found them maybe just a little bit too challenging. So yeah, as an entry-level championship, sort of going into next autumn and winter, I think the Radicals are probably an ideal choice. Yes. Because Aiden. Sorry, Adam. Your Barclay car remains intact. No trips to bargain booze for you this afternoon. In which case, I'm delighted to be the first person to announce that the Radical SR3 Cup will be the support championship, as Grant was unable to announce it himself. I'm sure we'll come back to that later on. Let's have another check-in with the race. Not a great deal to happen in the last couple of laps. John has managed to open up a gap of, I think, over a second now. Over Cole. Well, 3-4 seconds, actually. I think Costas made a mistake somewhere on this lap, so John looking relatively clear in P5. Aiden now has a lead of 9.5 seconds, so this race now becoming a bit more spread out. Aiden's already crossed the line to start lap 12, so we've got 6 laps to go. So just a quick word on the championship then. So Aiden came here 2 points ahead of Adam Christopher. He'll gain another 20 here with what should be, touch wood, no mistakes, his 6th win of 9 races this season, his 3rd in a row, but obviously he will have a round to drop. Now we don't think Aiden is actually going to miss a round. We've got 2 more after this one. We've got Croft, Knock Hill on the 17th of March, and then Brands Hatch Grand Prix on the 14th of April, so it will just be the case of dropping the scores and everything. But yeah, getting maximum score today while Adam isn't here does give him a bit of flexibility to play with when it comes down to the end of the season in April. Always is. Yeah. Jack only lost about 1.8 seconds there, just looking at the split, so he's still got the best part of 5 seconds in hand over Ben Bennyworth, who's on course for what would only be his 2nd podium in the Porsches this year. He had a 3rd in race 2 at Brands back in, when was that? Back in not November time? November? October was Brands. Here's Pierre Delby, who is on to equal his best result of 4th and strengthen his top 5 position in the championship. He came into this race 2 points ahead of both John Dean Smith and Costas Avram, and they're both behind him. So good news for Pierre in the championship there. He was telling me just before the race here, after his good qualifying, that he decided for this round not to test on race week. Instead of having a test the day before and getting himself worked up, he did his normal extensive test program, but then didn't do anything after last weekend and get a bit of separation, and he said it seems to be working really well for him. And he's only still a couple of seconds. He's keeping Bennyworth honest, to be fair. So on course for a good result here for car number 23. That's a great time on tyres that old.
It really is. And to put your personal best lap in this late in the race is very impressive.
But he's coming to the line now. What's he going to do this lap? Is he going to go any quicker? No, it went back into the 120s that time. So, yeah, that's actually Bennyworth and Delby. That is the closest. I mean, I wouldn't call it a battle. The closest gap on track. It's 2.6 seconds. We've got 4 laps to go now. Keith flashing of yellow flag sector 2. I think Connor Daly's had another off because both Daly brothers are now a lap down. So, yeah, they will very much be locking out the front row for the full reverse grid race 2 coming up shortly after this one. Stick around and don't forget 3 touring car races this afternoon. I think we've got, is it 11 touring cars today, we think? Yeah, and we've had a cracking season in the touring cars so far. We've had 9 different drivers on the podium in the 12 races we've had. They've been really open races. Just when you thought that Lewis Manley or Aidan Carter might turn up around and dominate, that just hasn't happened anywhere, really. I mean, Manley's now on a run of 6 podiums in a row, but even so, he's not had it all his own way. So, another particularly around this circuit, another thrilling afternoon of touring cars coming up. Yeah. Yeah, I think half our job this afternoon is going to be reminding people who's running what tyre when. Is everyone picking... Is the choice before qualifying or before race 1? This is what I wanted to check. No, it wasn't. No, hang on, last round was Alton Park. We're having a shocker today, aren't we? No, it's not. Makes things tricky for the drivers as well. I mean, obviously they will have done testing and everything, but they've only got a half-hour practice session, 3 compounds of tyres and so on. So, someone exited stage left. Who was that? No, it didn't look blue and yellow. Yeah. Yeah, there he is, coming back sunny in. As we said, not the first or last incident we're going to see at that corner today. So we go back to, there is Jack Bolly. Aidan's just started his penultimate lap. The lead is now... Oh. Yeah, and that is a position check. They're level on points in the championship, and they've both dropped around already. So that does actually have championship implications, that move. Yeah, 6 seconds. Not John's day. So a lap and a half to go at the front. Aidan has very quietly just got on with it. And his lead is now almost 16 seconds. A masterful display. And obviously I think we're all going to be sitting here thinking, well, what if Adam was here? Would Adam have been on Aidan's tail at this pace? I'm actually thinking... I'm struggling to see it. I'm starting thinking, would Adam be 17 seconds quicker than Jack Bolling over a race distance? No, not at all. No.
Adam put in an absolute stonker of a lap and stole pole position. I think it would have been a similar sort of race that we had. Adam would have had to get past Jack.
Which he probably would have done eventually, but Aidan would have gone by then.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I think, around that,
yeah.
I mean, fair play to Adam, doesn't like wrong, so it's a smart thing to do. If you want to keep at the circuit, you want to circuit.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's the right thing to do. So, we're on to the last lap now. I have not run out of superlative to describe Aidan Carter, but I do want to save some for race 2. So, I'm going to hold them back. The lead's nearly 18 seconds now. He's done exactly the job he needed to do in the situation. He got a very good, clean start. Oh, here we go. They're bumping. These two want to be careful. The motor race might break out. So they're coming across the line to start the last lap. And as I said, not only for fifth place in the race, they're level on points in the championship at the moment. So this will have a little bit of a difference. So we'll keep an eye on these two through the last lap. We'll let you know when Aidan crosses the line, because he's not a million miles away. Probably in about 20 seconds' time. But we're going to watch these two through the last lap in this battle for 5th place. Aiden, I can tell you, is actually just coming up. There's a picture-in-picture into the final corner now. He's just about, no, it won't quite lap Aaron Daly again. Oh, John's got him through the chicane. John's got past. I think, here we go, great battle. I don't think Costa's going to take that line down. Oh, he's going to go for a big lunge. Oh, can't quite do it coming into Tower. And we've got a battle on hands. Aiden Carter wins the race. It looks like it's going to be about 18, 19 seconds. The 6th win of the season in dominant fashion for car number 43. Jack Bonney, hang on. Jack Bonney's been... What's happened? We'll find out what happened there. Jack's crossed the line. He's crossed the line 4th. 132 on the last lap. He's had something's happened. John's going to finish 5th ahead of Costa Sanfra, and that's fine. But let's go back and find what happened. Jack Bonney has lost like a certain 2nd place on the final lap. So Ben Bennyworth has crossed the line 2nd, and Pierre Delby has got his 1st ever podium finish in 3rd as a result. And it's not the hairpin. He lost it. He's lost it with 2 corners to go. Here he is coming. We're going to get the picture up now. Here we go. Coming into, this is the complex, the penultimate corner of the race. And he's just gone on the power far too early, spun it round. And we said about Ben Bennyworth being in the position for the margin of error. There's him going past into 2nd. There's Pierre going past. These two must not be able to believe their luck. Pierre in particular. Jack Bonney's going to be absolutely kicking himself. And it means Aiden's margin of victory in the end was nearly 25 seconds.
25 seconds and 1st ever podium for Pierre Delby.
Fantastic.
Probably not the way we would have wanted to get it, and Jack is going to be, like you said, kicking himself, but it's so easy to do, and that's the final sector is so easy. And final lap of the race, you almost just think, oh, we're there, we're at the line, but that final sector is so demanding, the second take you over the ball, just lose it just like that.
So there we are for an 8-car race. There was actually a fair amount going on there. I was a bit worried that was going to be too processional, but there was action up and down the field. But Aiden Carter, as expecting, the dominant winner. Ben Bennyworth inheriting a 2nd place. That is his best result in the season so far on the Porsches. A maiden podium for Pierre Delby in 3rd. Jack Bonney 2 corners away from 2nd place, but spinning and falling down to 4th. John D. Smith coming to 5th by passing Costa Sanfra on the last lap. And then Connor Daly and Aaron Daly. Aaron then Connor will take the front row in the full reverse grid. Race 2 coming up. Aiden, of course, with Adam Christopher not here, will now open up a 22-point lead in the championship. Of course, he will have a round to drop later on. The big question going to race 2 is how well can he work his way through the field, and can he take the double win that has eluded him so far? It's a clean swirl. He did it at Alton. He's had 5 wins out of 5 in race 1s in so far in the Porsche this season, but he only won 1 race 2. Stay with us. Race 2 coming up shortly. to Croft. Round 10 of the Simply Race Porsche Challenge, the second race of the day. The full reverse grid is about to get underway. You see the cars there lining up, just about to start their formation lap ahead of this 17-lap race. Here is the grid. Aaron and Connor Daly on the front row of the grid. Aaron, remember, won reverse grid race 2 in the Alpines at this track last year. Costas Sanfram and John Dean Smith third and fourth on the grid after John overtook Costas on the last lap of race 1. Jack Bonney wants to make amends after spinning out of second place in race 1, 2 corners from home. He'll start 5th. Pierre Delby coming off the back of his maiden podium finish. Ben Bennyworth 7th. He was 2nd in race 1, his best finish seen so far. Aidan Carter dominant in race 1 earlier on. He's won every race 1 in the Porsches so far this season. He's only won 1 out of 4 race 2s. Probably his one Achilles heel, if you can call it that, has been working through the field. But here, a track where it's more likely drivers to make mistakes, a smaller field as well, Grant. This might be a good chance for Aidan, as he did at Alton Park last time out, to do the double.
Potentially so. My money, though, is on Jack Bonney for this one. Incredible pace at the start of the first race. Yes, that game-changing mistake on the final lap, but that's in the past now. It's a new race. If Jack can continue with that sort of pace and can get through the field quickly, I think it's going to be really difficult for Aidan to do anything about that once Aidan manages to get to the front. Aidan's very good at getting through the pack, but will it be risk management, or is Aidan just going to go for it? We don't know. It's entirely up to Aidan. Big championship lead, well, potentially big championship lead with Adam Christopher not being here, but it is a drop round championship, so how many risks do you take?
Yeah, just to get the driver's eye view, Chris Wilson, who'll be racing the touring cars later, has just joined us. And has helped us by turning his mic off immediately, so thank you very much, Chris. We've been talking in race 1 about how bumpy and technical Croft is. Could you just give us a driver's perspective of just what makes this track so tough?
Yeah, you've hit it on the head, really, Dan. There is some very noticeable bumps on this circuit, and they always tend to be into braking zones as well, so it's very easy to unsettle a car. The touring cars are really easy to unsettle. I imagine these Porsches are 10 times worse. And it's a toss-up. Half the curbs on the circuit, you can straddle them. Half the circuit's on the track, it'll unsettle the car and it'll throw you out wide. There's some very fine margins on good bits of tarmac, and you've just got to remember where they are and try your best to hit them.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, Chris. And we'll probably have a bit of a chat about what we've got to come in the touring cars later on, especially with the 3 compound rule in effect. I know you've got some thoughts about your testing early, but we've got a Porsche race to enjoy first. So Aaron on the left, Connor on the right on the front row, as the last cars, and just see Ben Bennyworth and Aidan Carter lining up at the back. So our second Porsche race of the day, round 10 of 14 of the championship at Croft. Just about to get underway, and away we go. Good start from Aaron, not so good from Connor. Is he going to still be ahead of Costas and from? Yes, he is. Connor tries to do the dummy go up the inside. It'll be Aaron Daly, Connor Daly, then Costas and from, and John Dean Smith. So as they were through the first 4, then it's Jack Bonney, and Aidan Carter's managed to clear Ben Bennyworth and Pierre Delby straight away. Who's gone off?
Jack Bonney clipped the right rear of John Dean Smith's Porsche and spun him round. Also Aidan Carter is now right on the back of Jack Bonney already. Yeah,
it was a good start by Aidan. He managed to get past Pierre Delby. Aidan Carter straight away, and Aaron Daly's lost it at Tower on the very first lap. Going to allow Connor through into the lead, and this is absolutely heaven sent for Aidan Carter to be up into 4th place and right behind Jack Bonney already. They come through the Jim Clark S's and up towards Barcroft, and then Sunny in on the first lap of 17. So Connor Daly with a little bit of an advantage. Costas Sanfram 2nd, you can see him there. There's Jack Bonney 3rd. Big off at the back, that's Pierre Delby who's thrown it into the scenery at Sunny in. So 3 offs on the first lap out of 8 cars. They're dropping like flies, as you'd expect for a race 2. But good news for championship leader Aidan Carter, with Ben Bennyworth keeping a watching brief in 5th.
And Connor Daly's gone off the circuit as well, which means that now the gap to the lead is now nothing, and Costas might actually have a go at Connor going into turn 1, as Aidan is having a look as well at Jack Bonney.
So Connor Daly, Costas Sanfram, then Jack Bonney, then Aidan Carter, then Bennyworth and Aaron Daly. You can see the recovering Pierre Delby and John Dean Smith in 7th and 8th in the background as they come through Clervo for the 2nd time out of 17 into long right-hander of Hawthorne. And we know Aidan said, it's a very difficult track to overtake on unless a mistake is made. Oh, Jack taking a very funny line through the chicane there, but getting a good drive compared to Costas, but he's stuck on the outside as they come towards the braking point for the right-hander at Tower. Here they come. Costas trying to defend. Jack Bonnie trying to go around the outside, but he might leave the door open for Aiden here, and he has, and Aiden's got past him, has he? He's going to be on the outside of the Jim Clark S's. 2 into 1 doesn't go through there. I think Aiden's going to have to come out of it, and Jack Bonnie just manages to hold on to that third place for the time being.
That was very lucky there for Jack. I thought he's going to make the move stick, but then lose that position to Aiden. Luckily not losing anything from it, but definitely going to have to rethink maybe trying it round the outside there.
Costas
almost
running up the back of Connor Daly. I think he just had to get out of it because he's carrying too much corner speed. It's getting very, very bunched up here between these top 5 or 6 to get the feed, and there's going to be an accident. And Aiden getting up the inside, being on the outside of the complex. He's not going to go around all the way out the store. Aiden's off! Aiden's gone off at the complex. Stuck on the outside there, trying to get past Jack Bonnie, just no room and not being able to control the car. That is a notoriously difficult corner. We saw Jack Bonnie go off there, first lap of race 1, and only now does Aiden rejoin, all the way gone down to the back of the field, and he now is going to have to go on a charge.
The race 2 curse returns for Aiden Carter. You could see it happening though. The second Aiden put the car on the outside there, I just thought there's no way that Porsche is going to grip around the next right-hander.
Right.
Not a clue.
Now,
Pierre Delby, fastest lap of the race.
Pierre Delby, fastest lap, but now Jack Bonnie's got his opportunity. He's got Costa Sanfram and Connor Daly ahead of him. He's 11.5 seconds ahead of the recovering Aiden Carter, who obviously would have done some damage to his tyres. If Jack Bonnie, remember we did say we thought race 2 would be a good chance for him. This could be it. This could be his big opportunity here. But he's got to get past Costa Sanfram and Connor Daly first as they come through the Jim Clark S's and head out towards Barcroft and Sunny for the 3rd time. I can't believe he only had 2.5 laps. It feels like we're about 8 laps in.
Yes, as we see them still punched up, very, very tightly knit around this part of the field. And Aaron Daly has gone off, which has gifted Aiden Carter a position. So Aiden up to P7. Costas absolutely flying, really trying to get in front of Connor Daly though.
Yeah, good spot there, Chris, but maybe not quite the right place to do it. Will Jack think about the full send at the inside at the last corner? It's just so tight into there with the different lines that drivers can take. It's giving Connor Daly a little bit of a breathing space. Another off from Aaron Daly had a really, really tough day, maybe not quite in the right frame of mind, but I know he'll be back at Knockhill and raring to go once again. Croft, a very, very difficult track to master.
Also must be said, Ben Bennyworth is sticking with this top group as well, as the fastest lap 118.5 gets shot in by Aiden Carter to just say, remember me, I am still in this race.
Yeah, he is only 9.7 seconds off the lead, and there's 14 laps left, so he can't be ruled out for the win. Yeah, dig dummy from Jack Bonnie. He's going to send it up the inside, go into town. He's not going to go for a tooth. He's on the grass. Oh, we nearly took Connor Daly out at the same time. He did not have that under control at all. He's going to have to cede that second wave for the time being, but they're both close right up to Connor Daly once again. It is 3 for the lead, and Ben Bennyworth is sat behind licking his lips thinking he might finally get a win on the board.
Connor had a massive moment coming out of that corner, which definitely saved Jack a bit there.
Connor Daly's gone wide. Connor Daly's gone wide on Bonnie's on the curb and everything. Costa Saffron's going to come through and take the lead through Sunny out. Can Connor Daly hang on to second as they head out towards the complex? It's all happening now. This is the kind of race 2 we like. Big look up the inside from Connor Daly. You can't do that there. They come towards the right-hander of the complex. It's Costa Saffron now leading. Then it's Connor Daly. Bonnie third, but he's going on the outside here, coming towards the hairpin. Can he try and cut in and get the late apex? He's going to try, but can't quite get the traction. You can just see
Delby and John Dean Smith are joining this as well.
Here we go, and they're going to be bringing Aiden with it. Aiden's only 6 seconds off the lead again. You can see him in the background. It's only been 3 laps since he went off, and he's done an 18.3. He's lost none of his pace from that off, and this is going to be a really weird thing to say 4 laps into this race. The guy who is second last is probably still favourite.
Potentially so, but got to get through this track.
I don't get to say that very often. So it's Avram, Connor Daly, Bonnie, Bennyworth, a second and a half between them. Delby, Dean Smith, Carter, and then Aaron Daly. Oh, Jack Bonnie having another big look. And it does emphasise, maybe it's good time to bring you in here, Chris. You can see it at the last corner, you can see it here at Tower. It's so hard to overtake. It's a lot harder than it looks.
Yeah, I mean, on the outset, that looks like a prime overtaking corner, but like I said to you pre-race, it's so bumpy going in there. You can unsettle the car. We've seen Jack do it a few times now. It's just so hard. It's better off to do what Costas did, get the run through, and he went through on the 2 sunny corners. It's probably the better bet.
Is it more about forcing errors than trying to send it?
Yes. Short answer, yes.
No, that's fine. Thank you very much. Thank you for those detailed insights. We've got a battle here with Connor Daly and Jack Bonney. And Connor Daly, we're getting a little bit of a trolley train emerging here. I can see Aiden, I think, just past John into the hairpin. Just in the background, they are side by side. No, Aiden's got in front of him. So Aiden up to 6th. But yeah, see, Connor Daly, Bonney, Bennyworth, Delby, Carter now ahead of Dean Smith. And Costas Avram suddenly is leading by 1.6 seconds.
Yeah,
the longer this goes on with Connor in second, the more this plays into Costas' hands.
Yeah, Costas has definitely just got to think consistent pace, keep putting the laps in, don't make any mistakes whatsoever, and he's going to be praying for this train to continue. But Jack he's just going for every single opportunity, and I
He's
think just
desperate
needs
to get
just
past.
breathe, have a little break, and then try again. Because he keeps doing this, it's going to throw the car off the road, and then Aiden's just going to have to.
It's definitely, and we know maybe Connor's one of the drivers who can be quick but struggle for consistency. His better chance of getting past him is to try and force the error, particularly somewhere around Sunny Inn, which is where Connor lost the lead to Costas. That, I think, would be Jack's better chance of getting through. We're still only on lap 6, so there's plenty of time to do it. And then, no, please do, Chris. That's what you're here for.
I think Bonney needs to have a think back to how Costas took the lead. Costas knew the one part of the track he was way faster, and he made it count. And instead of having a pop at every corner, as Aiden there comes through, he needs to pick a spot and make it work.
And I think he might have just done it as you say that. And is Connor being on the brakes? Are you going to get that stop?
Switch
back.
Up the inside into 2. That's
going to be contact between them. I think Connor's got the position. It's
and look at Bennyworth.
Bennyworth coming through, but I think now Jack Bonney has just managed to prise the door open and get into that second place. And as Chris alluded to, Aiden Carter did manage to get past Pierre Delby into 5th, and he's all over the back of Ben Bennyworth as well, trying to take 4th place. So they come up to Tower on lap 7. Is this a send from Aiden? He has a big look at Bennyworth up the inside. Did he get past him? No, he didn't.
And Connor's way
off on the way back of Tower. So now the race comes live. Costas is still leading by 2 seconds, but Jack Bonney has been uncaged and he is ready to go. Connor's all. Is he going to get that stopped for Sonny? He'll be amazed if he gets that stopped. No, he hasn't. That's really unfortunate. But he was well out of shape and everyone's going to come past. It was just Barcroft into Sonny. Absolute nightmare trying to get it stopped, and he falls back, and that changes the complexion of this race entirely. So Costas Avram leads Bonney by 1.2 seconds. The gap is closing. Here's Ben Bennyworth in 3rd. Aiden Carter is 4th, 2.6 seconds off the lead. He will still fancy his chances of winning this race, and he's having another look in the hairpin. He's got 2 confirmed kills coming through the hairpin already. He's looking for a 3rd. Did he get the drive coming onto the pit straight? Yes, he did. That's the hat-trick for Aiden Carter. He likes those moves into the hairpin, and it's got it up into 3rd place and coming back onto the tail of Jack Bonney. Still less than half distance, Chris. And yeah, Aiden now 3rd. Got to say he's the favourite.
Definitely. I mean, he takes such a tight line through that final hairpin that nobody else can even come close to. And he's got enough throttle control to get the drive out that he just makes it work. He's found his spot, he's making it work, and he's flying.
It is a Marc Marquez block pass, isn't it?
Yeah. He's taking no prisoners, but it's Aiden, so he always doesn't think.
Yeah, for those of you watching our commentary at home, please do mark off MotoGP spurious mention on your game cards now. So lap 8, Jack Bonney is right on the back of Costas Avram now. The gap's down to less than half a second. He's bringing Aiden Carter with him. How long can Costas hold on? But look, there's Aiden. He's right there. He's absolutely flying and looking for what will be a 7th win in the season and a 4th in a row. And they're now nose to tail, 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Bennyworth 4th, Delby 5th. There's still only 2 seconds between the top 5, nearly half distance. Now, will Aiden have another look into the hairpin here? Will Jack have a look at Costas maybe? Aiden stays wide, doesn't think of going for the dummy, and look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, Gilles Villeneuve at Harama in 81. Big slide from Aiden, getting all the power. Coming out of the hairpin as they complete lap 8, onto lap 9. Avram, Bonney, Carter, Bennyworth, Delby, covered by a king-size bedsheet as they come into Clervaux once again and up towards Hawthorne.
So yeah, on that last lap, a 1:22.0 for Costas, which has really brought this train back into play again. So we're seeing Trulli Train 2.0. Did Costas use too much tyres trying to get to the front, and is now feeling the brunt of that.
Bonnie send alert, looking for the dummy. Costas goes defensive, there's contact there. He can't have that surely, but Costas being so defensive managed to hold him off, and will have the line through the Jim Clark-esque. Great defensive driving through Costas, and I know Jack Bonnie is a hard driver, he will go for it, but I know he will want to get his first win absolutely fairly. I know he wouldn't want to do it through foul means, so they come up to Sonny once again. So Jack Bonnie, I think he's got to get past Costas soon. He's in a bit of an eat or be eaten situation with Aidan Carter now breathing down his neck. Pierre Delby, 5th, 1.6 off the lead. Bear in mind, he had a big off at Sonny on the first lap as well. So he's done a really good job to recover. And I think it looks like he's had a real confidence boost and seemed a lot more positive out in the centre here after getting that podium on the board. There's another send from Carter. Is that 4?
Move. What a late lunge that was from
That's
Carter.
4. Pierre Delby nearly spins on the
There at
exit.
the back, but what a move, like from nowhere. But those are the sorts of moves that you have to do here that surprise your opponent. The space was there and the move was clean.
Yeah, of course, no one he's passing has seen him do it further back, but that is 4 confirmed kills now at the hairpin for Aidan Carter, and it is just Costas Avram separating him from daylight, and he's got the best part of 8 laps to go to do it and get himself through for what would be win number 7. I can almost hear the sound of Adam Christopher crying into his brunch at the thought of Aidan getting the maximum 40 points today and putting his chance to be even more pressure when he comes back to Knock Hill in 3 weeks' time. So Avram, Carter, Bonnie, Bennyworth, Delby, John D. Smith isn't that far behind, and he's obviously had come to grief on the first lap as well. He's in 6th place, only 4 seconds off. And Bonnie's thinking they might have to try and have a go. All the contact coming through Sunning out. Bonnie's thinking, got to try and get past Aidan before he gets past Costas and try and keep this in play. Will he try a counter-punch the hairpin, I wonder? But Aidan, you think, might be lining Costas up here through the complex. He's right behind him. Is he going to go for number 5?
If any of this goes wrong, Bennyworth is in the
Costas has gone very, very wide. And gets the drive. It's a great, that's a risky move for Costas to do. No, he's got Carter right behind him, and it's allowed him to hold on to the lead for another lap. 7 to go.
What a brilliant race.
Yeah.
I think Costas is best bet now. It's easier said than done, but he's just got to keep backing those guys into each other.
Yeah.
He clearly knows he can't pull away. He's just got to force them to trip over each other. Because as soon as one gets through, then they'll all be having a whiff of it.
Defensive into town again, force him outside. That might leave Jack Bonnie a gap though. Here they come through town to Jim Clark-esque's. Aidan, I think, will still have the line coming through. It's starting to get very, very tight once again. I think you're right, because I think it's exactly what Costas has realised. Costas is a smart driver. He does have good racecraft, and he will be thinking about these kind of things with Barcroft and Sonny. They come once again. Avram, Carter, Bonnie. There's Bennyworth. He's still there. John D. Smith close right up to the back of Pierre Delby. So there's a battle emerging for 5th place as well, but will stay with the leaders as they come up to the complex. Lap 11 of 17. Hope you're enjoying this as much as we are in the commentary box. This is an absolute cracker. It's a bit like we had at Alton Park with a bit of a professional race 1 and it all coming to life in race 2. And Bennyworth's there. Bennyworth is there, and all this time Aidan's going to have a look. There's going to be some contact. Is he going to get the drive again? Costas. Oh, they're side by side. Now Costas has still got the inside for the next corner, so he should be able to hold on. I think Aidan was leading by 1,000th of a second across the line. That's how close it was. And Aidan's going to try and sweep around the outside. He's going to get stopped. Oh, he's done it. Absolutely. How did he keep that on the track?
The confidence Aidan had under braking
Absolutely superb. And Aidan takes lead at the start of lap 12. I think you're right, Chris. I think that's what Costas was trying to do. And he was doing the right thing, but that was a superb piece of driving by Aidan Carter.
I'm not taking anything away from that move. Turn 1 overtakes here are so difficult. You have to have a lot of faith in the car you're overtaking. But I still can't believe Costas did not park it on the apex of that hairpin. It's where Aidan's been deadly. You should just dump the car there and make him change his line. But
turn 1 overtakes around the outside are about as rare as rocking horse droppings.
100%. It's like I said, I'm taking nothing away. That was commitment from Aidan, and it was a lovely thing to watch.
Yep, I think one of the passes of the season I think we've seen in the Porsche is that one. And Aidan Carter, now 1.5 seconds ahead already, and he is uncorked and is heading towards win number 7. We go back to look at this battle for 4th and 5th. I know Jack is right on the back of Costas. a little bit more, a little bit of a bump at the back and everything, but Costas likes that wide line for the drive. It may have cost him the lead marginally, but it's going to hold him second for the time being with 5 laps to go. There's still only, less than 3 seconds between 2nd and 6th. A very high quality race, and like I said, the smallest field we've had of the year so far in the Porsches, but certainly in this race too, they have delivered plenty of entertainment. And if this will get for the Porsches, what on earth are we going to get from the touring cars with 3 different tyre compounds? I know we were hoping to get a chance to talk about that, Chris, but I don't think we've been given you should have been here for race 1, really. You should have put the hard work in. Costas struggling to get it stopped for Tarek.
Jack Bonney through the high-speed chicane nearly completely lost it and spun. I have no idea how he saved it. I don't know if you two saw that. He was completely sideways, but stayed right on the tail of Costas. No clue how he managed that.
Jack Bonney through that chicane today has been a bit of a lottery at the times. I'm not sure even he knows where it's going at the moment. That's not to decry his talent, but he has some very lurid shapes coming through there through practice, qualifying and both races.
I think he's getting very impatient behind Costas now. He's already had a go once earlier in the race and it didn't work out.
I just worry this ends up in an error, particularly after what happened at the end of race 1. And Bennyworth's there. Bennyworth is there. He's trying to go on the outside and Costas goes tight this time. Bennyworth's there. Pierre Delby is there. John Dean Smith is there. There's 4 laps to go now. And, I suppose this is, Grant, just to bring you back in again, this is what we were talking about earlier, that we felt Aiden would most likely win, certainly race 1, and now it looks like race 2 as well. But the podium places, there'd be everything to play for.
Yeah, exactly that. The prediction has come through.
For once.
For once. But
Can we have this in writing?
This year have delivered every single time, and Jack nearly completely froze it.
Now it's Bennyworth, yeah.
Bennyworth is definitely going to be in the hunt there, and look at that from Ben Bennyworth looking up the outside. He'd be lucky to make that work, though. He is going to get a really nice run through here, because Jack's definitely compromised on the exit. It's going to be so hard to do anything through here.
Jack parked that on the apex really well, I thought. I think he realised how defensive he was compromised, and I think he realised he had to disrupt Ben's corner speed a little bit, because otherwise Ben would have had a cracking run there through towards Barcroft and Sunny. In they come to Sunny now, and it is that nose to tail. Bennyworth, Delby, Dean Smith. 4th, 5th, 6th. There's now, 2.1 seconds between 2nd and 6th place with just over 3 laps to go. So Aiden's gone, let's be honest. He's now nearly 5 seconds ahead and worked his way through after that spin on lap 2. But the rest of the podium place is very, very much up for grabs. Here comes Jack Bonney with a bit of a send. There was some contact. There was some contact coming through. I think Costas has been able to hold on to it. Yes, he has. It was an attempt from Jack Bonney, but I think Costas knew it was coming and pretty much had it covered.
I understand Jack's frustration.
Yeah.
I've been in the exact same situation. But he just needs that little bit of wherewithal just to know not every corner is the time to go.
Well, with 2.5 laps to go, it is now.
In a lap's time, we'll reevaluate that conversation.
Yeah, that's one of those things Mark regrets saying.
I can't help but think that this train is just like a cork that's just ready to pop at any moment. I just feel like we're going to see it absolutely kick off any moment now. We've got John all over the back of Pierre Delby as well at the back of the train. While it's spreading out again at the front of it.
Jack is giving it. So, Jack is giving it the absolute big un here. He's properly going for it. They come into Sunny again. Absolutely cracker of a race here. I'm amazed we actually haven't had any changes between this quintet in the last 3 or 4 laps the way it's been. And Jack is really, I think he'll have another go into the hairpin at the end of the lap, I would have thought. You're not going to have a go, you can't have a go there. Oh, that was, I don't know if the camera angle is making that look close, but that's not really a place to overtake. This might be. What does Costas do this time? He can't afford to take it on. Now he goes defensive. Park it. Oh, he prized open the gap. Now, was there some contact there, I wonder? Was contact there on the grass? Oh, Jack Bonney has managed to get himself through into 2nd place, and he's prized open the door. Jack Bonney penalty for Delby. Track limits.
Yeah, he'll have track limits.
Now John D. Smith has already got past him. So he's in 6th place in the race, and he's over 20 seconds of air and daily. So is that a drive-through?
It will be a drive-through.
And that'll be added. How much will be added to his time? There's only 2 laps to go.
Oh, I think it'd be better for him to serve that, to be fair.
Will he know?
He'll know. He'd hope so anyway.
Well,
I mean, he might gamble just going for it, but I don't know if he No, you should be able to.
Aaron may get P6 out of this after all. So Jack Bonney is up into second place. Well, he hopefully will get the second place that eluded him in race 1. So now that...
You do have to go back. Sorry to cut across, but he did wipe out John at turn 1 in the first lap, or turn 2 in the first lap.
So we may have a penalty there. So the podium gets a good point, Grant. I was going to say looking at Costas and then Ben Bennyworth behind.
Oh, don't do it again.
Just managed to hold on to it.
We should probably cut to Costas.
Yes, we should. We've got a lap and a bit to go. That's not Costas.
Not Costas. Apologies.
No, we should get... There we go. There we go. Right. There we go. Thank you, Mr. Director. Well, John's gone very wide there in the background, but it's like he's got 5th place sorted, penalty pending. So Costas and... Who's that? Is that Jack? They closed up to him again.
Jack.
Yeah.
So Jack made another mistake.
I think he has.
I want to see the lap time. They're going to come through now to start
No, he looks slow.
the last lap. Have they got this gone
I
past
think
him?
he's been told
Pierre's
to
come
give
in.
him, I think he's been told to give the position back.
Yeah, that makes sense. Pierre's come in to serve his penalty. So Costas has been handed second place back. And this is the start of the last lap. So podium, Costas Avram, Jack Bonney, Ben Bennyworth. Bonney might potentially have another penalty coming his way. That will be found out afterwards. Well, who knows what's going to happen now. Aiden's now leading by more than 8 seconds. Because the wind's pretty much in the bag. So, well, everything's up for grabs now. They come up towards Tower for the final time. Suddenly, it's the last lap. I didn't really want this to end, to be perfectly honest.
I'm wondering if Jack thought himself that it was a bit risky.
Yeah, we don't know what the race control decisions mid-race are from our commentary position. We don't have access to information, unfortunately, and it'll be the end of the race by the time we find out. Aaron Daly has passed Pierre Delby into 6th place because of the drive-through. So
Yes,
hopefully that will make Aaron feel a little bit better.
Did tell him to let him through.
Oh, Jack's having a go. He's definitely having a go at the last corner, but he's gonna. He won't get to keep it if he does it again, surely. So I think there's going to be some decision. Whatever happens, he's not looking. Look at the complex. Oh, last time he's going to go wide. Now Costas come back through. He's going to stick it up the inside. There's going to be some contact again. Oh, he's going to go off. Costas has gone off, and he might let Ben Bennyworth through. Last corner. Oh, Costas all went to go and get him, and I think that'll be his word about this. Aiden Carter's won the race, win number 7 of the season, 4th in a row. Bonnie crosses the line 2nd on the road. Costas Avram just holds off Ben Bennyworth by a 1/4 of a second. John Dean Smith is 5th, and it's Aaron Daly, Pierre Delby after his drive, and Connor Daly. I think there may be a few looks at some of the moves that Jack Bonney made there regarding the result. A cracking race, though. Chris, just your thoughts, and the frantic couple of laps that we were hoping for at the end.
Yeah, I'm glad I managed to make it for this one. It was
I think we
a
all
thoroughly
are.
enjoyable watch. That was. Race control have got some figuring out to do based on that last half a lap, but without looking at that properly again, I'm not about to start speculating and throwing people under the bus. But that's going to be a tough one for them to head scratch over and come to a fair conclusion. But
looking at the way the storyline was going, Jack and Costas were side by side as soon as it went over the line, as though like the sort of celebratory "well done, mate." That was good. I think they enjoyed that.
I think they enjoyed it, but it's going to be up to the race director to decide
of course,
the finishing order.
Yes,
but probably just one last word on Aiden. 40 points, job done, and I think
the race.
overtaking the Porsche season. And obviously Adam coming back, but now he's got a very good position because he dropped scores and everything, and he's probably in pole position for the championship.
Yeah, it's hard to see anyone thrown in Aiden. Sorry, Adam, but it's going to take.
I mean, Aiden's
Knock
one.
Hill could be chaotic though. Knock Hill could be absolute chaos.
Race two at Knock Hill, because that's it. Aiden's won every race one so far. Race 2 at Knock Hill could be the one where it might get shaken up. But we'll find out in 3 weeks' time. Congratulations to Aiden Carter. Other podium positions still to be decided. Make sure you're back with us a bit later on for the touring car races. I know Chris is very much looking forward to grappling with those hard tyres. With 3 different compounds for using the 3 races. When we find out what the Porsche result is, if you're with us in the touring cars, we will bring you up to speed with those. Thank you for joining us. See you this afternoon. But congratulations to our double winner in the Porsche Challenge at Croft, Aiden Carter, consolidating his championship lead.